Hey guys, AscendantGod here. And below. It would Raid Shadow Legends. Going to be going over the end game in Raid Shadow Legends on a budget, meaning that you either have a limited amount of money that you put into the game, or for even free-to-play players. You guys can thank Vital Sign from the Sin Clan for this. He's the one who, basically asked me, hey, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money in this game anymore, but, what do you think is the best way to get the maximum out of your investment into the game if you've already put some money into it or you're just free to play? So I think it was a great suggestion. So I'm going to go ahead and give some advice here basically on, if you have a limited budget, you don't want to spend crazy money on the game, how to get the most out of the end game. Now, if you're not at end game, that's fine. This is what you should be aiming for. So you have some goals here, you know what you should be prioritizing and what you should be aiming for. And one of the biggest things when it comes to endgame is keeping yourself from burning out, because that is the biggest issue for people that I see, is they burn out. They either put a ton of money into the game and they get really, really frustrated that they just still don't have the account to where they want it to be. A lot of champions they're still missing, bad pulls, things like that, bad gear, whatever have you. They get really frustrated. Second thing is that they're having to manually farm things, and they're spending hours and hours every day manually farming the clan boss and faction wars and arena, and they burn out because of that. So one of the big things to start is you want to be able to auto farm as much of the game as possible, with the option to be able to do manual for days that you do want to actually play it. My suggestion is to either get one of the apps where you can set up macros in your phone, or get Nox Player, N-O-X, Nox Player. It is a program that you can basically use on your desktop or laptop that simulates a Android phone. So you can play the game on that, and it lets you set up macros, which macros basically means that at this time it clicks here, at this time it clicks there. So you can basically auto farm some of the dungeons or other content, say faction wars, without having to actually be there. So you can do it overnight, you can do it while you're at work, but most importantly, you don't have to spend hours and hours hitting the button over and over and over and over again if it's going to be auto runs anyway. So that is a really big thing to start, is that you want to have something where you can auto run. All right. Second thing, as far as one thing that I just like to remind people when it comes to endgame content, don't forget to check the market regularly. All right. Just all it takes is like once an hour to just log in. I mean, of course, I don't expect you to do every hour, but as you're able to market, remember, sometimes there's ancient shards in here. All right. So even if you're in endgame and you say, well, I don't need any of that gear, don't forget to check the market occasionally for those ancient shards. Remember that. Sparring pit should have all 5 open. Don't worry about the upgrades. Really what this is about, it's about free leveling up. You're not having to spend energy on the campaign to level up. This is leveling up champions that you spend gems one time, and for the rest of the life of your account, you're always getting to level champions up for nothing. So it's nice when you're farming and you have the, rank 1 champions that get up to level 9. If you're farming 12-3, you stick them in here for 57 minutes or so, and then boom, they hit level 10. You're not wasting that energy in the campaign. So it saves you a lot of money, because it's 57 minutes in here or 8 energy just to bring those champions from level 9 to 10. Don't do that. Get your rank 1s to level 9 from campaign 12-3, or 12-6 they get a little bit closer, and then it's only like 11 minutes. But we're going to get into what to farm in the campaign and endgame in just a second. But with Sparring Pit, you should have all 5 open. Don't worry about upgrading them, but at least have all 5 open. All right. And then next, always use all your energy, your arena tokens, your clan boss keys whenever they're available. Don't let those things max out. That's why you want to make things where you can auto them and you can clear them really quickly. So that way, if you max out on the arena, you can farm some arena tokens really quick. Within a couple of minutes, you get rid of at least half of them. Or if you have a really solid team, within a couple of minutes, you can use all 10. All right. Now, if you, as far as your energy to start, if you have bonus experience from either the weekly quests or some kind of event, and you're getting bonus experience, you should be leveling up champions for the most part. All right. If not, then farm the dungeons. All right. Now, as far as the dungeons, though, do not farm for potions. All right, in endgame. Reason being is that, remember, when you're clearing the clan boss, the rewards from the clan boss is potions. Look at how many I have of the blues here. 506, 37, 42, 15. I mean, I have a lot that I'm just sitting on in some of these. I just maxed out Bad L, so I don't have any of these left. But A lot of these I have a huge surplus, and it's because you collect them from the clan boss every time you clear that. So don't worry about farming potions unless you absolutely need them, because they're going to gradually come in anyway. All right. And then now, as far as that, the other, really what you should be doing is, being in the dungeons, either farming the Minotaur for masteries for a champion, or one of the 3 of these for gear, or Spider's Den for, rings, amulets, banners, whatever you need, farming for gear, all right, when you don't have bonus experience. All right, now farming with bonus experience, head to the campaign here. Most people should be doing it on Brimstone Path in 12 and either 12.3 or 12.6. Now, when I first heard about some people farming 12.3, I go, why would I farm 12.3? I'm not getting as much experience. Here's the thing. Shields sell better than boots. That's why a lot of people do 12.3. You actually get about 20% more coins from 12.3 than you do 12.6, and it's not 20% less experience. It's, I don't know how much percentage less, but basically as far as getting the most out of the energy, you're going to get the most out of it on 12.3 because you get a little bit more coins, only a little bit less energy, all right? And then my suggestion, when there is an event going on and you have the energy to spend, again, you're in endgame, nothing much to do, when you have the bonus experience and you're leveling up champions, you want to level up a bunch of them up to the rank 4s and the rank 5s. Reason being is that way when a champion training event comes up, you have a bunch of them already saved up anyway, so then you're ready to, just start that event, and you don't have to end up buying energy, because especially if you're in endgame and you're on a budget, this saves you from having to put energy into a champion training if you have a bunch of them saved up. Like, look at me, I have a bunch of rank 5 champions saved in my vault. All these ones right here, I use the same faces over and over, these 3 guys, sometimes a couple of different ones, but it's faces that I use over and over again where I know they're easy to find. I know right where they are in my vault here, and so I have them all ready to go. Like I had, when I got Bad L yesterday, I maxed him out. It took me a while, but as soon as I got him to level 50, I was immediately able to rank them up because I had a bunch of these rank 5s here in the vault, pulled 5 of them out, ranked him up, boom. And there's a champion training event going on too, which makes it even better. All right. Now, I suggest you do both 4 stars and 5 stars, unless you have some champions that you want to bring from rank 5 to rank 6, but you don't need it in a huge rush, so you're willing to wait for the next champion training. Because if not, it's good to have some rank 4s as well, so that way when a champion training event comes along, if there isn't any champions in particular that you want to bring up to rank 6 yet, then you can bring a bunch of the rank 4s up to rank 5 and then save them in your vault later on when you do get a champion like that. All right. Now, moving along, so that's a way to save yourself some money when it comes to the champion training events. And you can see here, I have not spent any money on this champion training event. Beck definitely helped me out. Bad Alcazar, when I got him, that helped out a lot. And then, but I haven't really been putting too much effort into it, but just because of leveling him up and everything, I mean, you can see, like, I'm already over halfway there, and it's been like a day. So, this goes by really quick. I'm already close to getting that legendary tomb. But since you do usually get legendary tombs from champion trainings, that's why it's always good to have some rank 4s and rank 5s on hand, so that as soon as a champion training does start, you have the option to bring champions up to rank 5 and rank 6 right off the bat real quickly, and you get huge points for it. All right, so moving along, arena. Okay, with Arena, my big suggestion is you want to get to a level in Arena where you can comfortably get really fast wins. Ideally, the goal is to get up to Gold 4 and be able to do quick farms in Gold 4, within a reasonable level of Arena points. You can go as low as 2,900, so, and I'll teach you how to juggle too if you don't know how to juggle your rank and where you're at. But anyway, but you want a speed farming group because, I mean, yes, you can make resistance teams that are good. It takes really, really good gear and a really solid team. But you look at mine, just have the speed aura from Arbiter, turn meter boost from Arbiter, so it's designed to be a quick team here. And you look at how fast I can farm. I mean, I put it on auto, it's going to be probably about 6, maybe 7 seconds at most. Yeah, 4 seconds, done, boom, 4 medals. Okay, so that way you do it really quick and easy, so then that way, in endgame, again, you're not going to be wanting to put hours and hours and hours on end into the game. So you want things in the end game to be as quick as possible. Now, if I want to toy around a little bit, though, I have the option where I could, say, pull Nethril out of here, and instead of using Nethril, I can have a little fun and, say, put Halloween Jack in there. It's amusing to watch what happens to people when I don't have Jack in my inventory, but it's funny to watch what happens to people when you have True Fear on them and block-in buffs and things like that. So there's ways you can experiment, but you want a team that's ready and good to go to farm the arena tokens really quickly for you. So then that way, if you don't want to have to farm, you're good to go. All right, and then make sure to watch your level in arena, because like if your arena level, the higher your arena points go in Gold 4, the harder the champions that you're fighting against are going to be. All right, so if you want to bring yourself down, you just lower your defense. You see, I only have 2 champions in defense, so I take a lot of losses when people attack me. So when it comes to my attacks, I'm always winning at this level every single time, but I'm taking the losses to balance it out. Every once in a while, people take losses. Imagine how irritated that person was when they lost somebody with 2 champions. But every once in a while I win because their group just isn't that great. But you see that I'm well above the 2,900, but I'm still taking some losses to balance out the wins that I'm getting, so I'm not getting so high into the arena that people are starting to be faster than me or better geared than me. All right, so that's how you toy with it, is your defense. Just make sure when the ranking period's about to end that you buff up your defense again before the ranking period ends, because once ranking period ends, everybody gets reset to the baseline, which for Gold 4 is 2,900 points. So from there on out, if you have a low defense and you're not playing right during the reset, you're probably going to take some losses. You're probably going to end up in Gold 3. So then you're just going to be getting less medals to get wins to get back up to Gold 4. So keep an eye on the ranking period. That's one big thing to do to make sure that you don't do that. I used to have a bad habit of not bringing my defense up for the ranking period. You need to keep an eye on that. All right. So, and that's basically how to toy with it. Now, the reason the arena is important in endgame is, don't forget that it's not just about wins in arena. It's those medals for Great Hole and upgrading this. This takes a very, very, very long time to max out. You see mine, I only have literally 1 that's maxed out, only a few of them that are gold. It takes a long, long time. All right, so that's a really good investment as far as the arena, getting up to a Gold 4 team. You should get one up to a Gold 4 speed team where you can clear it quickly, definitely win, but at the same time, you have a defense that's weak so that it balances out your wins and your losses. All right. Now, as far as the, the Great Hall, the best investments in endgame is buffs to your clan boss group if your clan boss isn't 4-keying Ultra Nightmare. And once that's at an ideal scenario, then you can focus on other buffs for your arena to try to get up to platinum. Now, if you feel you can handle platinum, like my suggestion if you're going to do platinum is, I only suggest it if you know you can win at least 85% of the time. All right. Otherwise, it's a waste of arena tokens and you're losing out more than you're getting. All right. And you want to keep track when it comes to arena of your wins and losses. So say, when you go into an encounter and say, I do Fenks here and I win, make a note in that document that you won against him. If I do it and I take a loss, then okay, and I lost. So then that way, when it comes to the future encounters, you'll know who you can take and who you can't take. All right, and then that's going to save you a lot in the long run as well. So always track that if you're in platinum. All right. Don't worry too much about platinum though. Like if you're struggling in platinum and you can't get that many wins, just farm Gold 4 for the Great Hall and build your way up there. I mean, you only get rewards from the ranking period once a week anyway, and if you know from Clan Boss, you usually get trash gear. So it's not like if you're not in platinum right now, people are going to blow you out the water, because eventually those people are going to burn out or they're going to get sick of, trying to keep into platinum. So don't worry about it. Just my main suggestion is farm Gold 4. Moving along, Clan Boss. Again, like I said previously, the goal for this should be 4-keying Ultra Nightmare. That's what you should be shooting for minimum as far as priorities for endgame. If you can do more and you can do it in 3 keys, great. But you want to try to build an auto-friendly group too. And that prevents burnout later on, because if you're having to do it manually and you're spending 15-20 minutes per encounter and you have to do 4 keys, that's easily over an hour of your time every day just farming the same boss over and over and over. Trust me, you will burn out. Your goal is to get one that's auto-friendly. Like mine right now is very auto-friendly. All these champions experience. Turbold isn't the most auto-friendly, but his damage is still really good. He gives me weaken. Overall, I put these guys on auto. All that I do is the first turn. Once I do the first turn and get the rotation down the way I want it, put it on auto, forget about it, come back like 7-8 minutes later, 9 minutes, good to go. My team is very quick and efficient, so it doesn't take me more than 8 or 9. But anyway, point being, you want an auto-friendly group so you don't burn out, all right? And you can play as manual anyway. I mean, I can play manual and do more damage, but I 4-key Ultra Nightmare anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. If I manualed it these days, I probably could 3-key it, but then I put a key into Brutal. It's not that great of rewards anyway, so I don't feel it's worth the effort because, like, I'm in that point where I don't want to put a ton of time into the game, and when I do get new champions or I'm working on Faction Wars, I spend hours and hours and hours working on that anyway, so I don't want to put any more effort into the clan boss than I need to. As long as you get the top chest from Ultra Nightmare, that's the best you can get, and that's the most important there. All right, and then, but if you want to manually do it sometimes to challenge yourself, you know, go for it. And then, so it's nice to have that option. Faction Wars. All right, this is the big one, where once you get your arena group and your clan boss groups to where you want them to be, ideally the clan boss should be the first priority because you get rewards every day from that, then the arena to gold 4. Once you're at those levels that I mentioned as far as endgame, next you're going to focus on Faction Wars. Reason why is you only get a limited amount of rewards for this, all right? So you don't worry about 3-keying Ultra Nightmare until you start focusing on at least a few groups here to get them as high as you can. So since you are limited, each day you only get a certain number of keys and that's it. You can't invest into this and get anything more than that as far as your glyphs. All right, so you want to get the maximum you can out of this and try to get some really high glyphs to build up your clan boss team and to build up your arena team, things like that. So what's the most practical way to do it is, for most people, build up 2 or 3 of your factions that are your strongest factions. You want to focus on champions that you enjoy playing with, you know, or you can see yourself using for other things, of course. But you'll most likely have to use some rares here and there, but don't go investing too heavily into rares. I suggest, you know, basically putting tombs into rares, but not masteries, unless you know they're a really good rare, like say Cold Heart, Pain Heaper's okay, things like that. Renegade, you know, things. But in endgame, you'll have tons of rare tombs, so it's fine to, you know, go crazy with them on champions. But with epic tombs and legendary tombs, be very conservative because they're few and far between in the end game. All right, you make sure whoever you're putting them on is going to be used in the long term. All right. Like, you look at me here, like when I got Bad Alcazar, I had a bunch of legendary tombs saved up, so I was able to max him within 1 day without having to spend $100 on legendary tombs because I saved them up. Now, do I have legendaries that I could have used tombs on? Yes, I still do. I mean, Arbiter, she has none put into her, but do I need her to have tombs? No. Her main priority in the arena is to give me a speed boost as far as the aura, and then the speed buff as far as increasing turn meters with her A3. Putting tombs into her is only going to increase her marginally for arena, because as long as I'm going first, 95% of the time she's done her role. You saw what she did in the arena for me. She gave the turn meter boost, everybody else went, they killed. She didn't have to do anything else. So the only thing that's just nice to raise up for her in arena is this here, to get this to 100% chance of decreasing the duration of enemy buffs by a turn. It's really good for Skull Crown, where if Skull Crown gets the unkillable, but the thing is you have to manually do it. For some stupid reason, her AI, after using A3, tries to use A4 even if nobody's dead. So you get like a little bit of a turn meter boost, 20% turn meter boost, but the A2 is much more useful against champions like Skull Crown or Black Knight that gets an unkillable buff. But other than that, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to put in tombs into her just to get this to 100% because it's 75% already. And if I've killed everybody in their enemy's team except for Skull Crown, I'm going to win anyway. Skull Crown's not going to kill all my champions. So anyway, so yeah, so be conservative with your legendary tombs unless it's somebody that you know is going to be really useful in clan boss, arena, or dungeons, just somebody that's really, really strong that you really want to play with. Save your legendaries and save your epics. But look at my rares, 76 rares. I have tons and tons of rare tombs. There's nothing else you can do with them. I say go crazy on investing them into the, you know, the rare champions. Just don't waste your time with the masteries on rares unless you know they're a really good champion. All right? Now, other than that, so like with my Beck, as soon as I got them, I was able to max them out so quickly because I saved them. All right. So now you do occasionally want to play Faction Wars here manually. just to see how far you can get. Like you see, like my orcs, they're one of the worst that I have. The highest I get up is level 10. It's horrible. But I have like a few rares. Most of them are only level 40, 2 level 50s. Nobody is maxed. But on auto, it can auto it on stage 8, I think. But manually, I was able to get past stage 9. And so you do want to do them manually from time to time to get more rewards. Just yesterday, I got higher in the orcs, and I got myself a void shard. So, you know, don't forget these rewards. So it's good to manually do it from time to time, all right? And then, if not anything else, if you're not going to do it manually, occasionally watch your groups in action. Like my high elves are pretty tough. You know, they're up to stage 15. On auto, they can do stage 13. Manually, I can do stage 14. I can't get past this on auto, though. All right? So that's why it's good to do them from time to time manually. But it's also good to watch your groups occasionally as you're gearing them up and leveling them up and making them more powerful. Watch them on auto and see what's happening, okay? Because that can really help you to easily adjust your group to farm a higher stage. Because, like, let's say you're farming with them currently, and you see that, you know, your cold heart is dying in the first round. Like, she's doing tons of damage, but she's getting herself killed. Well, put some more defense on her. Put some more hit points on her. Or maybe you need to change up the whole champion composition altogether. Get somebody with a shield or healing or resurrection, and then you don't have to worry about her altogether. But keep an eye on what's going on with your champions. Who's the weakest links? Who's the strongest links? Who you should invest into? Who you should change in there? You know, because in that way you can farm consistently on higher stages and get the most out of your glyphs. All right. So, as far as the factions, another thing that I advise as well, even if you only have rares to invest into them, like I said, with my Orc Crypt, I have 3 of them that are only rares. My suggestion is to at least get your rares and champions you know aren't going to be permanent because they're not amazing up to at least level 40 and get the gear on them up to at least level 12. That's reasonably priced, it's reasonably affordable, and it gives them a modest amount of survival at least so you can farm something as far as glyphs. Because you want to try to at least get, you know, like stage 8 or stage 9 on something, even if it isn't that great, because then you build up a collection of glyphs, and that's going to gradually improve your progression later on. Because yes, the highest glyphs you prioritize on things like, say, my Arbiter here, I want as much speed on her as I can be. In my clan boss group, I want more defense on some of them, more hit points, things like that for survival. But on your 1-star and 2-star glyphs that you get plenty of, you can start putting them into the Faction Wars gear if you know the gear's pretty decent, or your dungeon gear. And then that way gradually progress a little bit more. Because yes, 1-stars and 2-stars don't give you huge boosts, but collectively, if you put like 1 and 2 stars on every single artifact, on every stat you can boost, it's a pretty decent boost. So you want to always farm each faction every day you can, even if it's on auto. Even if on auto you can only farm 3 stages lower than what you could on manual. If you don't want to do it, just do it on auto like that, just to get those glyphs and build that collection. All right? So, other than that, you want to have, another thing you want to do as far as your Faction Wars groups is, you know, pay attention to the debuffs and buffs that you have, because you don't want an overkill. Like, you want things like an AoE defense down if possible, AoE weaken, AoE attack down is great, things like that. They can be a great asset to a group, but pay attention to who has what so you don't do an overkill of any given buff or a debuff. Like, say if you have 3 increased defenses, well, they're just going to overlap each other most likely, and it's going to be overkill. So you might want to change and say, like, well, this champion's really good and so is this one, but they both give the same exact buffs, and on auto they're going to overlap. So instead, on auto, I'm going to use this champion. Things like that. All right. So you also keep in mind that your best champions for, say, Spider might not be ideal for Faction Wars. Because, like, say my, you know, I don't have any of them out right now, but say my Cold Heart, she's great for the Spider. She has really, really high crit rate and, well, 100% crit rate with her A3 and a lot of crit damage. But she's a glass cannon. She can't take hits well. It's kind of like my Skull Crown here. Now look at that defense. Defense is low, hit points are low, but over 100% crit rate, decent amount of hit crit damage, like 182% crit damage. That's pretty solid. All right. So with her, she's a glass cannon. In Faction Wars, she doesn't have good survival. So, but in Arena, she's great. So, you know, the people that are, you know, you might have different champions on Spider than you will in Faction Wars, and that's fine. You just have to see if they are viable in Faction Wars as well as Spider, and if so, where are your priorities? I mean, I feel being able to farm Spider 20 is much more important than being able to farm 1 stage higher in, say, a given faction. So, you know, you just got to have to take those things into consideration of what rewards are you getting from what champion and what makes sense as far as reinvesting into them. All right. And again, the glyphs, best to use them conservatively. The highest glyphs for clan boss and arena gear, then dungeons, and then faction wars. Now, last thing is how to stay entertained in the end game. As like I said, the issue that most people run into is getting bored or getting burnt out. All right. Now, if you're at the end game and you're like me, where you're like, okay, I'm pretty much doing everything on auto. I can do all the stage 20s. I got my arbiter from the missions. I don't have any more rewards to get from the challenges and things like that. No one knew that I really want to max out. I'm getting real bored here. All right, what do you do then to keep from getting bored and losing interest in the game? Challenge yourself. All right, you know, look at your Faction Wars teams and figure out what you can do to improve them, like I mentioned previously. Again, since Faction Wars is limited but also free each day, you want to get the most out of that within reason. All right, so gradually invest in that from time to time to get better rewards over time. Toy with your arena team or your Ultra Nightmare team. I mean, you could experiment with some new in arena. You know, like I said, with my Harvest Jack, sometimes he's fun to play with just when I want to actually play arena, you know, or Clan Boss. If you feel like somebody might be an upgrade, experiment with them. Like, say for example, Big Un used to be one of my big boys in arena, and I love him in arena. He hits so hard. Skull Crown does not hit as hard as Big Un, but the great thing about her is that unkillable buff that she gets here. So if somebody does go before me, sometimes she's my ace in the hole where I still kill them anyway, because she has resist, she has unkillable, she survives those hits, and she'll one-shot the enemies, or one-shot one or two of them, and then now I have the upper hand, resurrect them with Arbiter, and boom, I'm good. All right, so don't drive yourself crazy though trying to rearrange every single piece of gear for a champion. You could easily spend hours and hours re-gearing a champion. Like when I swapped Skull Crown and Big Un, I messed up Big Un for Spider because I used Big Un for Spider 20. He got too slow and he wasn't doing his turn meter decrease before the Spider was getting a turn. And I spent hours having to rearrange the gear on all of my various champions because I feel like the gear for your clan boss should be top priority. Second priority should be arena. Third priority should be your stage 20 dungeons, and then faction wars. So, but it can be a real pain keeping track of where all your gear is at, and that's why I say don't go crazy with the faction wars as far as really, really powerful gear that you think you might eventually use in clan boss or arena. But unless you feel like you're going to use those champions for arena or clan boss eventually. But I say experiment, because like I said, I never saw myself using Skull Crown in arena just because Big Un hits so much harder. But she gets me performing so much better. I can get into platinum with her now without as much of a struggle as I did with Big Un. I just don't like doing it because it's hard to stay in platinum. All right, but anyway, point being, you know, do experiment a little bit here and there. Try out champions. If you think somebody might be worthwhile on an encounter, try to put some gear on them where you can give them a shot, even if it's not the greatest gear. Like, I'm really tempted to try Miscreated Monster. I'm really tempted to max him out, get his masteries maxed out, and give him a shot on the clan boss. I'd need to put lifesteal on him, but I'm real tempted to give that a try just to see what he can do, because his damage mitigation is amazing. But anyway, so, you know, but pace yourself when it comes to doing those things and rearranging your gear, all right? And other than that, I mean, really, there isn't, like, if you're able to farm Spider 20, you know, don't go over investing into that anymore, because there was a point in time where I was like, well, I can farm Spider 20, I can do it in, like, I think it's about a minute or 2 minutes or something at max, I think. And if I maxed out another Royal Guard and another Cold Heart that I have just sitting in my vault at level 1, sure, I could take it out in like probably 10 seconds. But then I was like, what's the point? Like, I'm going to spend hours and hours and hours maxing out their levels, maxing out their masteries, putting tomes into them, excuse me, to max them out, all to shave down the time on something that I do on auto anyway. It doesn't really make sense. You know, so, I mean, my advice is don't invest into something unless you need to invest into something to really improve it. Because, I mean, if you're on a budget, you don't really want to worry about farming Spider or one of the other dungeons faster anyway, because you're not going to get into the global, you know, rewards. And if you can do it within a reasonable time already, just set it up for the macro and have it farm all morning, noon, and night. And, you know, you'll place at least in the localized tournaments there. So, anyway... now, one other thing too is if you are on a budget, you have a little bit to spend. What to spend on? Generally speaking, the best for your money is packs with bonus experience energy and gem combinations. So like this one here, brews aren't that great because they cost coins, but things where you see like packs with like bonus XP, energy, coins, gems, things like this deal isn't that great. But you'll see some of these where it's like they used to have $5 packs with bonus experience and energy. They apparently got rid of those. They sold well. I don't know why. They just stopped selling them. There's no good deals that I have up here. These are the most expensive ones, sacred shards. I don't suggest buying sacred shards unless you are, you know, like again, keeping track of it with a budget. All right, but these are the gems flat out, and the sacred shards are where you'll pay the most money. $100, it's just, to me, that's crazy, like for an app. You know, it's not even a full-blown game. But anyway, but if you're on a budget and you're free to play, the best things to invest into is the bonus experiences and the energy. So you see, like in my inventory here, it stores them for 99 days. So it's like I have some that I even bought like, you know, what, couple months ago or whatever, that I still have bonus experiences. So when champion training events come up, you know, I come in here into my, you know, inbox, I collect this. If I need some energy, I have 1,000 energy, boom. So champion training, I'm ready to go. I don't need to buy it then and there. So you buy occasionally when you see the best deals in this limited special offers, and then that way sit on it for the next event or tournament that comes up that you say, ooh, there's a legendary tome, I want to get it. So things like that. So that's really the best way to invest. If you are going to buy sacred shards, my suggestion is to only buy the sacreds when you see that they are cheaper than usual. So just keep track of them. Like one sacred shard for $30 is not a good deal. The best ones that I tend to see, that you see like maybe once a month or something, if that, is it'll be a $50 pack and you'll get 2 sacred shards in it along with a few other things. Those ones are not that great, but it's the best deals you get for sacreds. So anyway, but I mean, I can't really tell you, like generally on a good deal, sacred shards are going to cost you about $15. In a bad deal, it's going to cost you upwards of like $25. So they're very, very expensive. Now, don't stress either when it comes to endgame about being the best. I mean, it takes either thousands of dollars, you know, or working on the game for a very, very long time to be the best of the best, which means it being in platinum or like 2-keying the Ultra Nightmare boss and things like that. All right, even 4-keying Ultra Nightmare is a challenge. All right, I'm not going to say that I haven't ever put money into my account, but I have throttled back. As I said, I'm putting way too much into this. I need to budget myself. I got other expenses. I got a family, you know. So, you know, if you remember to do your daily quests, though. I mean, you're going to get things free every day. Always log in, if anything, just to log in and leave the thing logged in for 180 minutes to get these. Ideally, you want to keep doing those daily quests, because remember, you do the daily quests every day, every month. You're going to get a void shard and a sacred shard. So, you know, it's worth the time. So you always want to take advantage of those daily quests and the login rewards every single day. Don't let your energy, arena tokens, clan boss things max out. Use them even if it's on auto at a lower level than you would have if you did it manually, because it's better than nothing. All right. But again, you know, it's just a matter of time being able to get to the end game content. I mean, this account, like, I'll be honest, like, I've spent hundreds on this account, like a lot more than I would like to admit that I did. But I still have a hard time in platinum, and that's fine. I'll eventually get there. It's just this account isn't as old as I need it to be, and I haven't put in as much as I needed it to. So just be patient. You know, eventually you will get there. But if you rush it, and even people who spend thousands on this game, I've seen people who have spent literally thousands of dollars on this game, and then they get so fed up where they get so irritated with their shard pulls and they're not getting champions they need or that they want. They're, you know, still not performing the way they want to in the game, and then they get sick of it and they quit because they burnt out. You just spent thousands of dollars on something and now you're not playing it anymore. That's just... And the accounts don't sell well. If you put like 5,000 into an account, you'd be lucky to be able to sell it for a few $100s. So it's not a good investment. All right. So, but again, don't stress about being the best. Just do the best you can. Ideally, again, in endgame, you know, you want to get up to the 4-key Ultra Nightmare, Gold 4 fast farming, and then Faction Wars gradually build up a solid 2 to 3 teams as high as you can possibly get them, so you at least have a few teams getting the maximum glyphs that you can possibly get every so often, because again, remember, those rewards are limited. All right, so I think that's about it. You know, and again, try to make as much as you can auto-friendly, or get Nox Player, or get a macro. There's apps out there where you can set up macros on your phones as well. So then that way, again, it clicks here, clicks there, clicks here, and does what you need it to do when you're not around, you know, so you don't burn out. All right. But But yeah, I know that, you know, being on a budget, it can be really frustrating when you see certain things coming along that you want to buy. But, you know, if you are spending on this game, keep track of how much you spend, budget yourself, because it can easily, you know, be like, I bought a $20 pack here, buy a $10 pack here, $50 pack here. Next thing you know, you're easily spending hundreds a month. Keep track of how much you spend each month, give yourself a budget in it, and limit yourself, or else you're gonna get really frustrated and your money's gonna be going down the drain. All right, but I think that covers everything as far as where your priorities should be in endgame, what your goals should be. There are practical goals to farm everything, you know, and then when you feel like you're really like maxed out your great haul, you have some really solid champions, then maybe start focusing on Platinum 4, or, you know, again, challenge yourself even more on Ultra Nightmare to try to get down to 2 keying the boss, or even 1 keying it with an immortal group, which can be done. So that's all that I got though for now, guys. I hope this was useful as far as endgame content and saving yourselves money in the endgame content, but getting the most out of the game. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, I hope this has been helpful. If there's anything I didn't cover, let me know. But otherwise, good luck, guys. Keep trying to enjoy the game. Do as much as you can on auto so you don't burn out. And in the meantime, I will catch you guys in the next episode. Hey guys, Anthony here, also known on this channel as AscendantGod. And shout out from down below, because we love everybody equally here. Well, thank you guys for checking out the channel here. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the latest content as I provided on here. Also, be sure to check out the description sections of the videos regularly as well. That's where I provide you guys with all the resources that I'm able to find that I think would be useful for you. It's also where you can show your support, and it is much appreciated, because regretfully, playing video games and making funny videos doesn't support the family. So any support you guys give is really appreciated. And other than that, I think that's about all that I got for now. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get back to this here. I think I almost got it figured out. So wish me luck, and I will catch you guys in the next episode. So until then,